don't think I have a good balance yet. I think I'm a little bit more into my masculinity. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shameka if you are new, and if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the bell so you can be notified every time I post, and make sure you leave a comment down below. So as you guys can see, I got my PJs on because this is just a real chill video. You know, go get your favorite drink, coffee, tea, liquor, wine, whatever your preference is. I have a Starbucks drink, and I have a venti iced caramel macchiato with extra caramel drizzle. Love it. That's probably the only drink from Starbucks that I really, well, only coffee drink from Starbucks that I like. The other drink that I like from Starbucks is a strawberry acai. I think you say it like that, acai. So yeah, getting right into the video. Today we're going to be talking about embracing your feminine power. Now, I know when you guys hear me say embracing your feminine power, you may think that I mean tapping into your more feminine side and using your power and embracing it, I guess, in the right way. When I talk about embracing your feminine power, what I mean is that as humans, we all naturally have both masculine and feminine power. Everybody is equipped with both. Men have feminine power as well as masculine power, and women have feminine power as well as masculine power. I think what's important is that as an individual, you know how to tap into both, and you know when to tap into both. Normally, protecting others or protecting yourself is reserved as a masculinity trait, and then you have nurturing, which is normally reserved as a more feminine trait. I think it's important to have both characteristics and to know when to turn both of them on and off. Sometimes being rough or being hard is a necessary approach, whereas other times it may be best to be a little bit more softer and gentle. You just have to figure out when to implement each of them. So for example, if you discovered that your child has been abused, in that instance, it's necessary for you to take the more aggressive, I don't want to say violent, but possibly violent, angry, protective approach. In that instance, in that scenario, it is best for you to do everything in your power to protect your child by any means necessary. So if that means stepping outside of your feminine energy and tapping into your masculine energy, then that's what's necessary at that moment. I think sometimes many women who want to be feminine women, they sometimes overlook some of the things that they should be paying attention to. They may sometimes be so in tune with their feminine side that they don't tap into their masculine side when it's necessary. Another example would be, you know, if you go to the store and the checkout clerk is being rude to you. Now, you can tap into your masculinity in that moment, but a store clerk being rude to you or nasty to you is like such a minute part of your day. It's such a small thing. It doesn't really impact you. It shouldn't bother you to the point where an hour later when you've left the store it's still messing with you. So I think in that moment, instead of responding back to her rudeness or his or her rudeness or negativity, it may be best to just tap into your more feminine side, smile, be pleasant, and kill her with kindness, or kill him with kindness. It's no need to really get masculine in that moment, because you getting feisty or angry back with the cashier is potentially only going to make the situation worse off than it has to be and bigger than what it needs to be. So in that moment, because that person is such a non-factor within the grand scheme of things, I would say that's when I would tap into my femininity and just kill them with kindness. So what is feminine power? In my opinion, feminine power is masculine power. They are two sides of the same coin. We're born with both feminine and masculine power. We need both to be able to survive, because if you're a single woman or a single mother, you mean to tell me that you're going to always be feminine? You don't have a man around you to do the things that men are supposed to do, protect, provide. So you have to do those things. But it is important that when you possibly potentially get somebody in your life, a man, that you're able to rest in your femininity so that you can allow him to take the role of the masculine leader in the house. So it's just important that you have both and you have a good balance of both. Feminine power is softer and it's the more calm approach. It perfectly complements masculine power. Unlike masculine power, I believe feminine power is more so focused on feelings and emotions. Which is why, like I say in all my videos, I think that it is important as an individual, as a woman, that you seek therapy so that you know how to work through your emotions and you know how to have control over your feelings. If you don't have some type of therapy, and therapy can be whatever you make it out to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be seeing a therapist. It's whatever your form of healing is, and whatever form you choose for yourself, it's important that you go through that process so that you can have control over your feelings and emotions, and your feelings and emotions don't have control over you. I think the real strength and power as a human is being able to tap into both your feminine and masculine energy. I think as a human, as a well-rounded individual, it's important that you have a nice balance of both, because like we said earlier, everyone has feminine and masculine power, but not everyone knows how and when to tap into each one. For example, in the workplace, you may want to be more assertive and a little bit more headstrong in the workplace to go after the things you want and to lead your team to whatever goal that you all are trying to complete. So in the workplace, it may be best to tap into your masculine power a little bit more, especially if you work in a male dominated field such as I do. I work in logistics and it's male dominated. So sometimes I do have to be a little bit more assertive to get what I want, or to make sure that my voice is heard. If I rest in my femininity in the workplace, I'll be walked all over. No one would ever listen to me. I'll always be pushed around and pushed over. So the workplace is another example of where you can tap into your masculinity. But that doesn't mean that there is no room for you to be feminine in your workplace. For example, in your workplace, you may want to tap into your femininity in a sense of listening more to your teammates and listening to what your employees have to say to try to kind of find new solutions and be innovative and help your team achieve the overall common goals. I think the important thing to note, the most important thing to note, is that strong leaders have a good balance of both masculinity and femininity. They know when to tap into each side, and they know when it's appropriate to use each one. For example, even when it comes to having children, you know, let's say the father is out of the home for some reason and you don't usually like to be the disciplinarian. It may be time for you to be a little bit more assertive and tap into your more masculine side, because for whatever reason there's no father in the household at that point in time. So you don't always have to just be the nurturer or the caring one. You have to know how to balance them both out. It's important that we have a good balance of both so that we can be well-rounded individuals. If we are always feminine 24/7, we may get taken advantage of in some ways. We may get walked all over in some ways. We may get used and abused in some ways. So it's important to know how to protect yourself, which is normally considered a masculine trait, or know how to be assertive and speak up for yourself in some instances, because if not, I feel like you're kind of not necessarily a well-rounded individual. You're kind of one-sided, and although you may be a feminine woman in the physical, there's nothing wrong with knowing how to protect yourself, provide for your family, and so forth, because it's not guaranteed that we're going to always have a man around. It's not guaranteed that we're going to always have someone there to do those things for us. So as an individual, it's important that we know how to tap into both sets of energy. I don't think I have a good balance yet. I think I'm a little bit more into my masculinity than my femininity, but I'm working on it. I'm like 60-40 right now, so I'm trying to get it to 50-50, because I think once you're 50-50, you'll know when to implement each trait. You'll know when it's appropriate to implement each trait, and I'll be just a more well-rounded individual. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.